Welcome to the System Performance Measures Data Correction video series. If you're watching this video, it's because you want to end homelessness. To end homelessness, you need good data about the people you serve. Without that good data, it's harder to make an impact at your agency and on the people you see and help on a daily basis. Each video in this series will focus on a single performance measure and will offer 1 to 3 areas of focus for data correction. Before we get started, there are a few reports you need to run and have handy. First, you will need to run the HUD Data Quality Report. Save it as a PDF to review later, then run the report as an export. Essentially, the export will spit out the APR ESG and DQ detail export. Don't worry if you don't have these funding types. The report will still be useful to you. You will also need to run the 2018 System Performance Measure 1 report and the 2018 System Performance Measures 2 through 7 report. Save each of these reports as PDFs and then export them to Excel data as well. While you will mostly be working out of the Excel data files, having the PDF files on record is good for establishing at a glance where your data is currently at. You may also find it useful to run the System Performance Measure 1 report 2 to 4 times using the different report criteria settings. For dates, use October 1st, 2017 as the start date. Leave today's date as the end date. Note that as we progress through the years, the start date will change. Eventually, we'll be looking at October 1st, 2018, and then 2019, and then 2020, and so on. There are videos on our YouTube channel that cover each of these reports and how to export them. I encourage you to take a look at those videos if you are unfamiliar with the steps needed to run and export the necessary reports. Save all of these reports in an easy-to-access folder, and you're ready to dive in. In this video, we're going to take a look at System Performance Measure 3, Number of Homeless Persons. This measure looks at emergency shelters, safe havens, and transitional housing project types. If you don't currently have that project type, move on to the next video. For this measure, we will only need to look at the 2018 System Performance Measure 2 through 7 Excel data file. We will be focusing on 3 areas for potential correction: duplicate clients with duplicate enrollments, project start dates before the report start dates, and blank exit dates. First, crack open your Excel data file. Notice that there are several tabs at the bottom of this file. We're only concerned with tab 3.2 for this video. You don't need to worry about measure 3.1 as those numbers are not pulled from HMIS. First, let's start by checking if you have any duplicate client records in the file. If you have a shelter program, it's likely that some clients may show up for services more than once. What we're looking for here, though, is more specific. We want to see if there are any clients that are listed in the report more than once who also have overlapping enrollments or enrollments with the same date. First, set a filter along the top row of the file. Then highlight the entire Client ID column. We're going to apply a conditional formatting rule so that any duplicate client IDs will highlight in red. Once you have that filter set, see if you can then filter by color. If you can, you have some duplicates. If you can't, then your file has no duplicate client IDs and you can move on to the next area of focus. But let's say you do have some duplicates. You may also find it useful to sort with either the largest or smallest numbers at the top just to get the IDs in order, or you might have a small number of IDs in the first place and that might not be necessary. So we can see here that I have 2 clients duplicating on this report. We can also see that the enrollment dates for the records are the same. This is a major red flag. Clients should not have duplicate enrollments with the same dates or with overlapping dates. Take note of the client IDs and investigate what's going on with those clients in the system. Contact the HMIS help desk if it looks like duplicate enrollments need to be deleted. At this point, you can clear the conditional formatting in the client ID column. The next thing we're going to look at is any client that has an enrollment start date set before the report start date and who also does not have an exit date. Remember that for this example, all the reports were run with the start date of October 1st, 2017. As we progress through the years, that start date is going to change. For now, I want to see who started in the program before that October 1st, 2017 date. You will want to make sure that the boxes checked in the filter are for the years and months before the report start date. Then, for the exit date filter, set it so that you're only looking at blanks. Now I have a lot of clients listed here, so you might find that it is easier to look at this data from newest to oldest or oldest to newest. I'm more concerned with the clients that have been enrolled for a very long time in my program, so I went with oldest to newest. The idea is to check these clients to see if any of them actually need to be exited from the program. I have a client that was enrolled in 2013 in my emergency shelter program, and the enrollment is still open. I'm pretty confident that the client actually exited the shelter years ago, but I'll need to check their record in HMIS to be sure. The last area of focus is just a general check of clients without exit dates. Look at the clients that have been enrolled in your program the longest. You will want to expand your enrollment date filter so that we're looking at all enrollments now, with blank exit dates. This may be a lot of data to sift through. You might have already caught some of these clients in previous measures. At the very least, after checking the clients that have been enrolled in the program the longest and still have not been exited, do a spot check for a few of your other clients to test for data quality. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Join us in our next video in the System Performance Measures Data Correction series.